The Jeep Grand Cherokee, which is currently in its 5th generation, is the best it's ever been. This is a machine that straddles the line between everyday usefulness and full-on luxury machine, and it does it really well. Those top spec models are pretty amazing, but things can get pricey quickly. Thankfully, there are some smarter options within the lineup with respect to value for your dollar. But which version is the right version for you? Let's figure it out. Essentially, we have a few paths we can go down here. The 2-row path, which offers a choice between a V6 engine or the 4xe hybrid setup, or we have the Grand Cherokee L 3-row path, which is V6 or V8. The base powertrain is the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6, and it's rated to deliver 293 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. With the V6, you can choose between rear-wheel drive or a proper 4x4 setup. And the V6 is backed up by an 8-speed gearbox with the max tow rating for this setup sitting at 6,200 pounds. If you can keep your foot out of it, Jeep says the max driving range is rated at 500 miles, which is incredibly impressive. Next, we have the 5.7-liter HEMI V8. This engine is only available on the 3-row version, that is the Grand Cherokee L, only offered on the Overland, Summit, and Summit Reserve trims, and it's only available with 4-wheel drive. It's good for 357 horsepower and bumps the tow rating up to 7,200 pounds. Finally, there's the hybrid powertrain that is the 4xe setup. You can only select a 4xe powertrain on 2-row Grand Cherokees. This one uses a 2-liter turbo 4 with a 14 kilowatt-hour battery pack, and all-wheel drive is standard. Output is rated at 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque, which helps this one make more oomph and run quicker than those HEMI versions. You also get up to 25 miles of all-electric range when you want it. The trim lineup for the gas models is comprised of the Laredo, Altitude, Limited, Overland, Summit, and Summit Reserve. And it all starts with the Laredo, which comes standard with powered and heated side mirrors, automatic headlights, active grille shutters, and 17-inch aluminum wheels on 245 series all-season tires. The 3-row models get 18-inch wheels. In the cabin, the Laredo is fitted with cloth seats. The driver's seat is 8-way power adjustable, and in the center stack sits an 8.4-inch touchscreen display powered by the latest Uconnect 5 infotainment system, which includes Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity as standard. The sound system pumps out of a 6-speaker sound system, while the climate system features dual-zone climate controls. With the 3-row, you also get 2nd-row bucket seats and tri-zone climate control instead of the dual-zone. On the mechanical side, if you opt for the 4-wheel drive version, it's Quadra Track 1, which means no transfer case. Regardless, there are 6 USB ports and a pair of 12-volt aux power outlets, as well as pretty much the full gamut of safety features as standard as well. The starting price of the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo is $38,290 for the 2-wheel drive Laredo A, or $43,830 for the standard Laredo 4-wheel drive. That's only if you select the no-cost white paint though, as the 4 other paint options at this trim level each cost $595. Jumping to the Laredo 3-row adds $2,000. And if you're on the Jeep page shopping around, if you see a trim with an X after it, like the Laredo X, that just means that version gets a sunroof. Next, we have the Altitude, which is like a Laredo but with blacked out trim on the outside, nicer material on the inside, and the wheels are blacked out as well. The rear liftgate is powered while the front seats and the steering wheel are heated. A wireless charging pad for your device is included as well. The starting price of a 2-wheel drive Altitude is $46,435. 4-wheel drive adds $2,000 to the starting price, and making it a Grand Cherokee Altitude 3-row is also an extra $2,000. Now we're moving up to the Grand Cherokee Limited. The side mirrors get integrated turn signals, and you get auto-controlled high beams. On the inside, we ditch the cloth for capri leatherette trim, 8-way power adjustability for the front passenger, and heating for the 2nd row of seats. Even better though is that we move to the much nicer and larger 10.1-inch display in the center. Mechanically, we're still stuck with a choice between 2-wheel drive or the Quadra Track 1 4-wheel drive system, and the starting price of the 2-wheel drive 2-row model is $51,200. Like before, all-wheel drive adds $2,000, and the 3-row is another $2,000 as well. Moving up to the 4-wheel drive only Grand Cherokee Overland, we're entering the fancy pants versions. Here you get 20-inch wheels, front tow hooks, LED fog lamps, front lighting animation, power folding side mirrors, and the rear liftgate is hands-free. Inside, you'll find Napa leather trim on the seats, ventilated front seats, the dual-pane panoramic sunroof, and the Alpine 9-speaker sound system is now standard. However, you can finally jump to the optional 19-speaker Macintosh sound system, which is one of the nicest I've heard in recent years. As far as the mechanicals go, Overland models give us our first taste of a proper transfer case. This one gets the Quadra Track 2 active four-wheel drive system. Also, instead of standard coil springs, you have an airlift suspension system for a nicer ride. Finally, if you opt for the 3-row version, you can also then option up to the V8 engine. The Overland is where things start to get more serious, and that's why the starting price takes a big jump up here. The 2-row V6 model is $66,790. The V6 3-row starts at $68,790, and the V8 will cost you at least $72,785. But we're about to go bigger because now we've reached the Summit and the even more fancy Summit Reserve models. These two are also 4-wheel drive only now. With the Summit, you can opt for a variety of two-tone paint options. The wheels are still 20 inches, but the design is a bit more flashy. You'll find elements of chrome trim on the outside. Now the cabin gets 4-zone climate control as standard. Additionally, the front seats are 16-way power adjustable with memory functions, and you have massage functionality as well. On the mechanical side, Quadra Drive 2 is standard. You also get a rear electronic limited slip diff. This one is very nice inside and well equipped, and it costs a ton, with the 2-row version starting at $68,355. The 3-row with the V6 will cost you at least $70,355, and the 3-row with the V8 starts at $74,350. But there's still one more here with the Summit Reserve. The wheels climb to 21 inches, the wood trim inside is nicer, and the seats are trimmed in Palermo leather. Here, even the second-row seats are ventilated, and that fancy Macintosh sound system is finally included too, and it should be, since this one starts at $72,835 for the 2-row. The 3-row V6 adds $2,000 to the starting price, while the V8 3-row will add another $3,995 on top of that. But remember, we're not done. Now we have to walk through the hybrid models. Don't forget the Grand Cherokee 4xe is 2-row and 4-wheel drive only. The base model is simply the Grand Cherokee 4xe. Hill descent control and select terrain management are standard, as is the Quadra Track 2 active 4-wheel drive system with a proper transfer case. The base model arrives wearing 18-inch wheels with all-season tires. Inside there's dual-zone climate control, a heated steering wheel, capri leatherette seats, the 9-speaker Alpine audio system, and the nice 10.1-inch touchscreen display. Both the front and second rows are heated. The starting price of the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe is $62,285. There's an anniversary edition available, which is basically this base version but with unique trim, 20-inch wheels, blue tow hooks, and a reworked front fascia. It's an extra $3,700 though. Next, we have what's probably the most exciting of all the Grand Cherokee models, and that would be the Trailhawk 4xe. Jeep fits it with the Quadra Drive 2 4-wheel drive system, which includes 272-to-1 low-range gearing. There's an electronic limited slip diff out back. The crawl ratio is 47.4-to-1, while you also have 10.1 inches of ground clearance and can ford up to 24 inches of water. The hood gets a matte decal, and there's a set of 18-inch wheels with all-terrain tires at each corner. You also get an electronic disconnecting front sway bar. The Trailhawk looks the part and can handle the trails with ease, but it costs a ton with a starting price of $67,980, and we are still climbing here. Next is the Overland 4xe, which is similar to the Trailhawk but swaps on 20-inch wheels, adds on a dual-pane sunroof, adds ventilation to the front row, and the trim is Napa leather. Even better is that they include the Macintosh sound system on this one. This one is quite spendy with a starting price of $75,275. Finally, we once again reached the literal and figurative summits of the Grand Cherokee world with the Summit 4xe and Summit Reserve 4xe. These are both the nicest versions of the Grand Cherokee. The Summit has quilted Napa leather, 20-inch wheels, nice wood trim on the dash, 16-way power adjustable seats with massage functionality, and costs a frankly amazing $76,465, and they do not include the Macintosh as standard here. With the Summit Reserve, you get 21-inch wheels, Palermo leather on the seats, nicer wood on the dash, the Macintosh tunes, and an absolutely ridiculous price tag of $80,945. I know, it's crazy, so which one should you buy? In my head, if you're thinking about a Jeep Grand Cherokee, that means you want a nice vehicle that you can also take off-road or use in situations where maybe the weather is less than ideal, so I'd rule out all of the two-wheel drive options right away. On top of that, the 4xe powertrain is expensive, but it's also really good. The base 4xe does come nicely equipped, but the Trailhawk offers real deal trail-rated fun. The only thing that annoys me is that you can't select the Macintosh sound system as an option because it's really that good of a sound system. So if you wanted to have that and a trail-rated rig, you essentially need to jump another rung to the Overland, and now costs are skyrocketing. So I'd order the Trailhawk because the off-road capability is more important to me than the sound system, and then I would quietly weep to myself at the trailhead for having spent almost $70,000 on a truck that's not equipped exactly how I'd like it. But if you're not interested in the hybrid, you can save a ton of money by going with the Grand Cherokee Limited. Still, add on the four-wheel drive as this is a Jeep, and you can land your starting price just under $54,000. As long as you're okay with white paint, because anything else is going to cost you. Man, this thing is expensive. It's definitely a great vehicle, but you had better really want one.